Make sure this is not turned up. Wonder if we can go live on Facebook also. I'll try it. Turn this down. Health and wealth, second week. I want to thank everybody for staying with us on this. And so, hey, check this out. So during the webinar, if y'all have any questions, we can break off into questions. I really want to see if we can start to change the format to that, where if y'all have more questions, we can address those questions. That way y'all get the most out of this webinar and the most out of this information. I'm gonna share my screen here and then we'll get started. Let's see. Hope everybody's having a good week. There we are, guys. So this week we're actually working on health and wealth. And so a little bit about my story. Grew up with a single mom. My dad, took his life when I was very young. We moved to a bigger city. I had to adapt really quick. I got involved with the wrong people. Got exposed to the bad environment. Got exposed to incorrect labeling. Was fed a bunch of wrong information growing up. And it wasn't until I had a breakthrough moment where I discovered that we can actually reprogram ourselves and change the complete direction of our lives, mentally, physically, emotionally, and family. Like, you can definitely change the whole game. We have 8 kids, combined blended family, ranging from 6 to 26. We have all ages. So I have a little bit of parenting experience, but that's another webinar. That's another whole 4-week webinar right there. But this is a good quote by Shakespeare. There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So Matt, that's a very, very powerful quote. Screenshot that, man, if you can. Just look at that. But we're gonna get started into this. So what I have here, this is actually our massive action workbook binder. Has a bunch of little tests, assessment tests. This is a massive lot of value in this booklet. If you're interested in one of these booklets, let me know. I can send you a booklet. But today we're going to be on health and wealth. If you were with us last week, we did a pretty good little webinar on the whole structure, the wealth. This is the wealth building strategy, and it was pretty good stuff. But this week we're actually talking about these 4 areas right here, and just to throw this out there, we're going to be in San Antonio August 30th for this is going to be a Monster Nation. Coach Michael Burt. This guy's world class, man. This guy has world class. If you get a chance, you on YouTube, just search Coach Michael Burt, and you can watch some of his content. This guy is like I don't know. He's on a different level, man. I started working with Coach a couple years back, and our relationship just built, man. Like, we just built, we connected, and we're really straight up with each other. We actually share a lot of the same values, and he's actually helped me a lot with my business. He's helped me a lot with my coaching. He's helped me, a lot in my health, family. Like this guy, he's been a good friend of mine. I consider him at first I consider him a coach. Now he's like one of my, he's like my brother. So big shout out to Coach Bird. If you get a chance, check out his stuff. But we're gonna be in San Antonio August 30th for a pretty cool event. I'm gonna be speaking there, Coach Burt. We have David Perez and Seth Brothers, and basically we're just gonna share some value, man. We're gonna share some value. It's a great opportunity to get to meet Coach Burt. I would say, if anything, go to it just so you can meet Coach Burt and you can get around that energy. And what's cool about Coach Burt is like he knows a lot of people. So he has these well-established relationships with, Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, Tim Story, Brad Lee, you name it. He's Sharon Lecter, some world-class people, man, some world-class business people that he has access to, and he has a lot of resources within him. So definitely check that out. If you want more information on that, look me up on Instagram. It's the Stan Medina. Send me a message. Like I said, it's August 30th. It's a free mastermind event. It starts at 6:30 to 9. And the main thing is just to hit us up so we can get your information so that we can make sure that we get you a seat. We can reserve a spot for you, man. And we're gonna have some goodies out there, some massive action stuff. And I definitely want to see y'all out there, man. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Maybe y'all can attend that. But first thing, we're gonna talk about health and wealth, man. And a little bit about that, right? So when I first started the path, I would say, just to kind of really invest in myself and to get the information I need to be successful in business, to get the information I needed to be successful in real estate. I neglected my health. Like, seriously, I neglected my health. And I remember, man, like straight up, like I remember like I would read every night, but I would make a big thing of popcorn. I would have a Pepsi. I would eat a pickle. Like, this was every night. And that was like my little routine. Like, I would read a book. I would be reading I had like a little couch in my room. We bought like a couch with like a little what is it, like ottoman. And man, I would just read and study, eat popcorn, drink some Pepsi, and that was my routine. And I was getting, smarter. I was getting the information I needed to grow my business, but I was also getting unhealthy. And it wasn't until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago I really started taking my health serious and really started to try to understand it, because at first I didn't understand how health worked. And I always I would always go to the gym. I'd always work out, and I always, try to eat the grilled chicken and, salad and everything. But I really didn't understand my health until I really started taking it serious and really started to study like my body and what I need to eat. And the crazy thing is, like, as we get older, like our body starts to deteriorate, and our health and the same, the same energy level that we had when we were 30 starts to decrease. And you got to figure out why that's decreasing. And so the way you do that is through blood work. You go to the doctor. You got to make sure that you're working with a nutritionist, and you really got to understand your body so you can perform at a peak level. Because I tell you what, like that's one of the things that I think that got me this far is, like, I've always been like a hard worker, and I've always like just worked, night and day if I had to, weekends. And I think I've always been able to outperform everybody else. And that's what gave me an advantage in business. But as we get older, your energy starts to decline. And as your business grows, now you're having to deal with bigger problems, more responsibilities. And so now you have to make sure your health is up to par, and make sure your health is you're maximizing your health so that you can perform every day. Because man, I know some guys that man, they're just their health is not too great, and they get run down, man. They get run down in business. They get run down because their energy level is not there. And so dealing with these problems on a daily, like it's gonna drain you, man. So let's get into this. Max out your main income, right? So what does that mean when I say max out your main income? See if I can get this. When I say max out your main income, I'm gonna get my thing here. I'm just gonna get the laser pointer. Last time I made a mess. So we're on this one right here. So I'm gonna put a thing here. Max out your main income. So what I mean by that is, I was talking to one of my guys here, and and I asked him. I said, because he has a habit of doing like side jobs, and he has a habit of dabbling with other things, right? And I said, have you maxed out your main source of income yet? And he's like, what do you mean like that? I said, well, for example, like if you work at, let's say you work at Best Buy, right? Say you work at Best Buy. Let's say you work at AT&T. Let's say you work retail, or you're a contractor, whatever the case, right? Have you developed all the skills you need to perform in that career, right? For example, if you're in sales and you're working at Best Buy, and let's say you're on commission, have you took the time to educate yourself on sales, like selling techniques, selling strategies, how to understand people? Because if you're not, then you're just dabbling with your main source of income. Like you're not really maximizing your real mainstream of income, where you can be tapping the max out of that. For example, like let's just say if you're a car salesman, right? And you show up to work, and you say, I mean, every carsman say, I can sell ice to an Eskimo, right? But do they really have the skills, the selling skills to be have they mastered selling yet? Have they committed the 10,000 hours and countless, weekends and nights to studying sales, how to master sales, to where maybe they went from selling 5 cars a month to selling 20 cars a month, because they mastered that. And so now they're really maximizing that career. And I've one thing about like restaurants, right? Like if you go up north, like, or California, that area, a lot of those waitresses or waiters, they consider like that as a career. And there's like tactics, and there's like things that waiters and waitresses do to maximize their tips. And it's weird, because I read a book, and it was like sharing like things like that. It was like saying, okay, if you're in the waiter or waiter business, are you really approaching it correctly? Are you approaching customers correctly, where you make them feel the best, where they want to give you more tips? And one of the ways is like just reading people, quick. If you can go up to a table and you can read people, maybe their body language, if you can read body language, any indications, like maybe they might have something on. Like, for example, like if you ever gone to like, I know I'm getting off subject here, but if you ever gone to like a mixer event or an event, and there's always someone that's wearing like something flashy. They might have like a big pin, or they might have a hat on. They might have a big necklace, or they might be wearing something kind of flashy. And so basically what it is that person is kind of, they're not really comfortable approaching people. So they do that so people will approach them. And so it's kind of like an attention thing to have people approach them, because they don't have they don't have that much confidence to go approach someone else, just random people, and say, hey, how you doing? My name's so. So they use this to kind of get attention. It's just something you got to recognize. And so whenever, like, I tell you what, if you go to an event and someone has something like a pin or something, they're wearing like this big pin or something, or a hat, they're wearing some kind of fancy jewelry or something, ask them, say, hey, what is that? And they're going to start talking to you. That's the way to break conversation. So, hey, maximize your main income, man. Make sure you're really going deep with that. Make sure you're really understanding how to take to the next level. I know, like, if you're building a sales team, like, are you really maximizing that opportunity to build a team? Have you studied how to build a team? Have you studied how to build a team, how to build a culture, different personality types? Because if you're gonna be a team builder, you got to know different personality types so that you know how to read people whenever they want to come work for you, how to read those different personalities off the bat. So you got to make sure you're investing in yourself to maximize that career. So we're gonna go into well, that's income, right? It's gonna increase your income. All these things are gonna increase your income. And so another thing here, let me see this. Another thing here, this is all about money, how to increase your income. And let me remove this screen here. I don't know why this came up. Okay. So hot water money trick, right? So hot water money trick is, if you haven't heard the analogy, like if you put a frog in boiling water, the frog will jump out. But if you put a frog in warm water and slowly increase the temperature, he won't notice the difference, and you'll eventually cook the frog, right? So our body, our mind, our thinking is wired the same way, right? For example, if you're looking to start saving money, and let's just say you say, man, you know what? I made $500 this week. I made $1,000, right? Let's say you made $500. I'm just making some notes here. And you say, man, I want to start saving $150, right? Okay. But like you usually like use all your money on bills and you have expenses. So usually you're broke by Monday, right? So 500, like if you put 150, if you say, you know what, this week I'm just going to start big. I'm going to save 150 out of every check from now on. And you try to save the 150, you're going to be tempted to go back to that 150 because it's too quick of a shock to your routine, right? And so the way you wouldn't want to do this, you want to start small. You can say, you know what, I'm going to start doing 25 a week. Okay. And maybe you do 25 the first week and 25 the second week, but then the third week you do 40. Right. And so every 2 to 3 weeks, you increase it by maybe $10, $20, whatever you feel comfortable with. And what's going to happen is you're slowly going to start to adjust your lifestyle to that. And you're going to realize that, hey, you know what, like, I can manage without that extra $50 or without that extra $40 or whatever. And what that does is slowly starts to build up. And a lot of people say, man, you know what? I just don't know what to invest in. You know, I want to start saving, but I don't know what to invest my money in. You know, right now, just throw it in a savings account. Like, just throw it in a savings, just so you can start the momentum of saving something. You know, I know that if you're a business owner, like there's actually different banks that actually allow you to it's commercial banking. It's not regular banking, it's more commercial banking. Commercial banking has a lot more options and it has a lot more tools you can use to manage your money. For example, like I'll get into this later, the profit first system, but with us, we actually have a funnel system where we deposit, then it goes to different accounts, and then we have access to one account, but this other money's locked up over here. And so it kind of just funnels for us. But you can actually do that yourself. For example, you can say, you know what, I'm going to open two checking, I have a checking account, a savings account. Then I'm going to do another savings account with no debit, no PIN number, no debt, nothing. I don't even want to know I don't even care about the account number. And you can do every Friday, just do an auto transfer to that. And, or you might want to just deposit that into a separate, like a separate account. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a deposit here, but I want to transfer this to this account, to where you don't have access to transfer it on your phone or something easy. You want to make it not accessible, right? I know something that also works is like there's a lot of different things you can do. You just got to figure out what's best for you and what's comfortable for you. If you like to I mean, everybody's different on this. Everybody's different on this, but it's a good way to start the momentum of saving. And before long, that will start to build up. You'll be surprised, man, how fast that builds up. It's kind of like, you throwing the change in the drawer, right? You throw your change in the, remember back in the day, you would throw your change in the drawer, and then before long, like you open the drawer, and like, man, I have $50 in there, right? It's the same thing, but you want to get that momentum going with your money, man. And you want to start to work all these things. So look, if you start to say, you know what, I'm going to maximize my main source of income by studying and being on the top of my game, but also I want to do this money trick. I want to do this money trick to where I'm starting to save and I'm starting to understand like where to put my money. And so next thing right here we're going to talk about is say you start stacking up a couple $100, $1,000, 2,000, whatever, and you're like, man, I want to start investing, and you say, man, like, I don't know what to invest in. People say to invest in stock. People say, Bitcoin. People say all this crazy stuff, right? You wanna start off with something that's going to be very, very little risk, and something with very little risk is not going to have like a very high return. But what it's going to do, it's going to give you peace of mind that your money's like it's all right. It might not be the 8%, 10% annually. It might be 3 to 4%, but hey, you're not taking any risk, and you don't have to worry about that money until you want to make some bigger moves, right? And so one of the things that I throw money in is an index fund, right? Index funds are very low risk. They're not going to make you a lot of money, but what they do is they just slowly start to increase. And if you set it up properly, your earnings will just reinvest. You'll just kind of reinvesting whatever your earnings are on that. It won't be a lot, but like I said, it's not about doing it fast. It's about getting the momentum going and getting the habit of doing it. Because once you get the momentum going, man, you can do this on multiple different levels. Like for example, like I have like several of them set up, right? So every week, every other week, I have a drip account. So it'll just deposit money into certain accounts, right? They're called drip accounts, where there's this every week is just dripping something, an amount in this account, and I don't even notice it. Like it's just gone, right? But what happens is over, you look back 6 months, you're like, dang, I already accumulated that much money. It's a drip account. And so whenever you start to build those accounts, it starts to make you get a better peace of mind on your day, your career, because you have a little bit of cash saved away if you need it, right? And what happens, it's gonna make you a little bit more confident in your business. If you're in sales and you have some reserves, you're gonna be a little bit more confident whenever you're selling, because you're not gonna be selling under pressure. You're not gonna be selling, out of breath and just trying to make the sell because you need to pay your rent or you need to pay your car. And what happens, what tends to happen with that, man, is like, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're walking a thin line of being unethical in business. Because if all your bills are due and you need to sell something to someone, and it might not be the right thing for that person, but you need the money really bad and you sell it, that's very unethical. And what's going to happen is that's going to slowly start to build, and pretty soon you're going to be in bad shape because you didn't think of on building your foundation first. So the foundation is going to be very, very important, man, if you want to build any kind of wealth. And how does health you know how does health get involved with all this, right? Man, health is important because you got to make sure that you're able to function at a higher level. And the way you do that is this, making sure you're hydrated, making sure that you're eating high protein meals, right? Making sure you're cutting back on the sugars. And you really got to monitor this stuff, because look, next week we're going to talk about the book Compound Effect. And if y'all haven't got the book yet, I definitely encourage you to read the book. But Compound Effect is basically saying, hey, you know what? If you think that smoking a cigarette a day is not gonna affect you because it's just one cigarette, what happens is it starts to compound. So like if you smoke one every day, you just smoked 5 this week. You understand? And if you smoke one every day, that's 30 a month. And so do the math. Like, it's a compound effect. And that's with everything. That's even with the food you eat. So you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna drink. I just drink one soda a day. Well, you drink one soda a day, okay? Well, after a week, that's 5 sodas. After a month, that's 30 if you're drinking one every day. And so it starts to compound on your body. You understand? Like if you're gaining a weight, if you're gaining like a pound and a half a month because your diet's not on point, just compound it. You're gonna how much you're gonna gain at the end of the year. Like you're gonna be overweight. See? So just do the compound effect applies on everything. It applies on everything. And what happens is it works against you and it can work for you. Because if you have a poor diet and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna have a taco and I just eat a taco every morning, dude. That's all I need. I just need a taco every morning. Okay, well, you're gonna eat a taco every morning, and that's 5 tacos a week. You know, if that's 20 a month, right? And that 20 a month adds, a pound a month to your waist times 12. That's 12 pounds a year. You know what I'm saying? Times 10 years, that's 120 pounds, right? So you're gonna gain 120 pounds. Like so just look at the math and look at the compound effect of what you're doing to your body. Because if you think you're gonna outbeat yourself by like saying, okay, you know what, once I start making this amount of money, I'm gonna start working out. Once I hit this goal, I'm gonna work out. Like it's not gonna work like that, because it's not gonna work like that. You got to take your health serious at the same time you're taking your wealth. Doubles game, okay? The doubles game is pretty cool because like see what a lot of CEOs and top businesses do is they play this doubles game. And I'll give you an example, right? So there's this car parts company. There's this car parts company, right, that we deal with. And I actually did a case study. I had to do a case study on a business, and I said I'm gonna do it on this business because we do business with them. I want to know what they're about. Well, this company, they started off as selling used parts, right, like a junkyard. Check this out. They started off at the junkyard, and then they said, okay, well, let's stack up some cash, and let's make a move. So they said, okay, we're gonna stack up some cash. So they stacked up. They had a drip account. They just started dripping money in this account. Pretty soon they saved up a good chunk amount, right? And what happens in business or what happens in life is there's always opportunity for a double. And what I mean by that is if someone's going every day, someone goes through something bad, people and businesses go through things, right? A business hits rock bottom. Maybe the owner gets sick. Maybe the owner passes away. They decide they want to sell the company. The company was poorly managed. At one point, the company was worth, let's just say $1 million, right? Company's poorly managed. They just let the company go. Now that company is maybe worth maybe 300K. So this company, the used car company, the junkyard company, bought this company for 300K. Restructured the management team. Used their current marketing to kind of piggyback on what they're already doing. Quickly got it back up to $1 million. So what did they do? They doubled their money. They tripled their money, actually. You see, that's a double. And so a lot of times people what they want to do is they say, well, I just want to get into real estate. I just want to get into real estate investment property. I just want to buy a property and I want to flip a property. And so for one, they haven't maxed out their main source of income. Okay. And because they haven't maxed out their main source of income, they're still dabbling with that career. So they're still dabbling in this career, not maximizing the max amount of money. And then they go into a risk where they want to buy, they want to start flipping houses. And so now they take the little money they're making and they dump it into this other dabble business. And so now their risk factor is really high. Their risk factor is really high. On top of that, their health is not at peak level. Their health is not performance level where they can sustain like multiple businesses and multiple tasks and multiple problems and stress. They can't deal with all this stuff. So what happens is they end up failing. Okay. So real estate is not the only option. Like just because people say, I want to invest, I want to go stock, or I want to do real estate. Like look at the doubles factor. Play the doubles game, man. So it can be a business. It can be people's personal projects and personal items. Like maybe someone is having an estate sale and you were able to buy everything from the house for 10 grand and you turn around and sell it for 30 grand. That's a double, right? That's how the game works. And so use those resources to play that doubles game. It's not necessarily has to be in real estate. It can be with anything that you feel is a double. I know one of my buddies like plays the double game with fine art, basketball cards, baseball cards, businesses. Like there's so many there's a playing field of this stuff. Return on investment. So return on investment too is like if you're a business owner or if you're looking to hire some team members, you're gonna have to invest in those people so they can produce to give you a return on investment. So a lot of times they say, man, I don't have time to train those people. I don't have time to coach them. I don't have time to do this. Well, if you don't invest the time, you're not gonna get no return on that investment. So people are investments. People are investments and people are assets because they can help you. Y'all can help each other. Y'all can build a lot faster with people. So people are going to be assets. So that can be one of your assets. Say, you know what? I'm going to stack up because I want to hire someone to help me run my business more efficient. That's a double because that person is going to probably double your income. 3-step system. I don't know if I talked about this before, but goal, strategy, and tactics, right? So I remember like when I got into real estate investing, I wasn't really an expert at it. What I did was I started wrong here. I started backwards. I started off with the tactic. And so I didn't have a goal, but my tactic was I just need to buy real estate. I just need to buy something because I felt like if I didn't buy something, I was going to be late to the game. And so I just started buying stuff without a strategy, without a goal. And what happened was I accumulated a lot of property. But then when I actually let the dust settle, I realized I didn't really have a strategy or I didn't have a goal. And so what happened was my tactic was just, go without a strategy, without a goal. And so what I had to do was I had to stop. I had to just put the brakes and everything. And I had to stop and say, okay, what is my ultimate goal here? And so I had to restructure our real estate portfolio and say, okay, you know what? With the goal that I'm trying to achieve, these items in my portfolio don't fit. So I had to dump those out, right? So now I have a goal. Okay. The goal is to say, okay, you know what? We only accumulate properties that are going to have a high return, that are very minimal management. And our strategy is to buy in on a certain price range, right? Our strategy is to make sure that we acquire a lot of equity with these properties. Our strategy is that we make sure that they're not, dumps. Our strategy is to eventually move into commercial, right? And so what is our tactics? Our taxes are, we gotta, search certain demographics, certain area codes, search certain databases, mail out different letters, make certain calls, business certain properties. Those are the tactics, right? And so by doing these tactics, it's going to help us with our strategy to help us meet our goal. So always start off with the goal. Like that's what I tell a lot of people. Like people always say, man, I want to get into real estate. I want to get into real estate investing. And I say, okay, what is the ultimate goal? Like, what are you wanting to achieve by getting into real estate investing? I don't know, man. I just want to get into real estate investing. Well, you got to start with the goal. So you know what strategy to put in place. So you know what tactics to put, because if not, you're going to have a lot of property and you're going to have a lot of headache and you're going to be stressed out, because that's what we did. Was I just bought a bunch of property, and every deal that came up, I just bought it. I bought all these deals. And then before you know it, it was just like my time was just dragged around, like doing this property, managing that property, breaking over here. Like, and so I had to like really stop and look at everything clearly and say, okay, you know what? This property is really not really as good as I thought it was, because I wasn't thinking correctly. It doesn't fit into our goals. So we're gonna have to let this go. And by letting that go, it actually helped us, move a lot faster, because it wasn't pulling us down. So a lot of times you might have something, because you're starting off with tactics that's the wrong thing for you. It could be the wrong thing for you. One thing that I always recommend is like, okay, if you're gonna get into real estate investing, like what is the ultimate goal? Is the goal for you to have passive income? Like how much passive income do you want? Do you want to like substitute your income at work? So if you're making 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month, are you looking to replace that with rental property income, cash flow? Or what are you looking to do? Are you looking to retire in 10 years, 15 years? What are you looking to do? And so by knowing that gives us a goal to go for it. And then we come up with a strategy and tactics. That's going to be very, very important, guys. I talked about the drip accounts. Drip accounts are going to be those accounts that slowly, it's kind of, the best way to describe it is like just pretend like open a new account and pretend it's like a gym membership, and that account's going to auto draft from your account monthly. And it's just like a gym, like it's just stupid, right? Because like we'll get like all these subscriptions to Disney, Netflix, Hulu, the gym, Amazon Prime, like Spotify, all these things, right? Those what they did was they created a drip account, but they're pulling from someone else's money. Like that's the real drip account. If you think this is that's the real drip account, where you can build something and you're dripping money from other people's accounts. That's the true drip account. But for now, we're just gonna have to set up an account outside our account and start to pull money from our own account so we can build up. And with that money, we can build a business. We can get into investing. We can play the doubles game. We can start to figure out other little goals and strategies to move us along. So, hey, one book that I want y'all to see if I can get is Profit First. Profit First is a good book for entrepreneurs. Even if you if you're trying to just like save up money, if you have a job, if you have a regular career job, and you're saying, man, I want to learn how to start saving money so that I can invest in real estate or take some trips or whatever. Profit First is going to be a world-class book. You definitely got to check out. And Profit First is not it's not an audio book, dude. Like if you're gonna get Profits First, buy the book and commit yourself to like just study the book on the weekend. Take some time and really study the book. Like really study the book and take notes and apply it has workbooks in it. I mean worksheets. Apply the exercise, download the workbooks, get all that information and really dive deep into it and really work to understand it. Once you understand that formula, I guarantee it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. That's that Profit First. Definitely check it out. Like I said, it's not really what I did was I bought the book. I downloaded the PDF files, and I read the book. I also listened to the book on Audible. While I was doing that, like I was just like I dove deep into it. I as I was reading the book, I stopped. I searched some stuff on YouTube, Profit First, and I watched other people's video, like explain it. Other people like showed how they did it on their business, and it just helped me understand the system a lot better. So leverage your credit, and so leverage your credits, man. So this is gonna be a good one, man. Leverage your credit, man. You can do so much, man, with credit. It's crazy. But so leverage your credit basically is like as you're going through the process of cutting back on the cokes, cutting back on the fried foods, cutting back on the burgers, and setting up your drips accounts and studying the Profit First, and finding some low risk, investment accounts, some index funds, something that's low risk. Uh, look at building your credit, man. Really look at building your credit. We're gonna do a webinar pretty soon, 4 week on just credit building, credit strategies and stuff like that. But first, hey, if y'all haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, subscribe. I always forget to tell people to subscribe, but make sure y'all subscribe, and I guess hit like the notification, I guess, so y'all can get the next live videos that we have. And once again, I want to give a shout out to our event. Well, I want to give I guess like a plug, right, to our event, August 30th in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to be from 6 to 9. And so what it is Coach Burt, Monster Nation. We're doing a tour, and San Antonio is going to be our first stop, but we're going to bring some excellent information. We're going to bring some content, some value, and it's a free event. Like, all you do is, send me a message on Instagram at the Stan Medina, and just say, hey man, I want to know some information about the event on the 30th in San Antonio. I want to attend. I have some questions. I want to meet Coach Burt. I want to talk to you about my business. I want to know if you can help me with this. Like I said, my main industry is auto collision repair. So that's our main business, collision repair business. Like, we have a body shop. We're about to open a second location. And so we focus on insurance claims, that whole thing. We also have a real estate investment company. We also have a commercial investment company. And I also do some business coaching for other shop owners, beginning entrepreneurs, people that are looking to get into to real estate investing, people are trying to grow their team for the shop, how to build a culture. And so I share a lot of that information. But like I said, August 30th, San Antonio. I want to see y'all if y'all can make it out there, man. I definitely encourage y'all to get out there. Like I said, it's a free event. It was a sponsored event, and basically it's just to meet people, man, and network, and just build some relationships, man. So leverage your credit, man. Is going to be very important because credit will come. Like, not only will you need credit, but your credit shows a lot of like your character, right? So the way you're gonna have to build credit is, if you have bad credit right now, you're gonna have to get a credit report, man. Get a credit report and start to address some of those things, man. A lot of people say, man, I'm gonna hire someone to do to repair my credit. And basically, man, what it is poor credit is poor money habits. That's all it is. So if you have poor credit, it's just bad money decisions. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. And it's not like they taught us that in school, right? It's not like they taught us how to manage money in school. So, hey, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, people will say, man, I have bad credit. I don't know what to do. It takes forever. It doesn't take forever. You can probably do it in 6 months if you want. So, I mean, that might be some of the things that you might want to do first, right? You might say, okay, you know what? I'm going to max out my income. I'm going to create a drip account. I'm going to focus on knocking out all the debt on my credit. While I'm doing that, what's going to happen is my credit score is going to go up. I'm still going to have these drip accounts. you're gonna build in the habit of saving that money. So after that debt is paid off, you're still gonna be able to accumulate that money. But now you're gonna have money and you're gonna have credit. So now you're really able to play some bigger games, because look, as your credit starts to build and your credibility starts to build, you can go get a line of credit. Like a line of credit is like saying, hey, you know what? I want to apply for a line of credit. They'll say, okay, you know what? We'll give you 50,000 line of credit. We'll give you 100,000 line of credit. What that means is like you have available credit at a bank, and you could transfer that into your account whenever you want to play the doubles game. So now you're playing the doubles games with other people's money. That's when the game gets fun. But in order to get to that point, we got to start by maximizing your main source of income. Increase your skills, man. Increase your skills. Figure out what skills you need to be a master at what you're doing right now. Create the drip system. If you get a chance, like read the Profit First book, and then we'll focus on the doubles game. And like I said, credit. If you're looking to open a business, if you have a business, you can actually establish your credit, and then you can piggyback to open up some business credit. And what the thing without business credit is that it doesn't show on your personal credit. For example, if you have a business and your business, and so check this out. Let's say, for example, you apply for a city card, right, on personal credit. Well, whenever you apply for a personal credit card, they're only going to give you like 2,500, maybe 4,000, right? But they know as a business owner that you have a lot of expenses. So the start off is 10 grand, 15 grand starting off. So off the bat, they're going to give you a car for 15 grand because it's a business. And so your business doesn't have to be a full blown, like, multi-million-dollar business. It can be a small business as long as your credit's good. They use your credit and they build off of that. So, I mean, guys, like, there's so much opportunities out there. And like I said, when you start playing at these bigger levels, you can do it, man. Like, you definitely can do it. It's just someone guiding you, someone giving you the information, someone saying, hey, look, these are some things you got to do in order to get to that next level. These are some of the action you got to take. These are some of the tactics. These are some of the strategies. What's your goal? Because if you have a goal, we'll come up with some strategy, and then we got some tactics. Leverage your credit, guys. Hey, guys, I'm going to finish that off. Let me see. If y'all have any questions, leave the questions in the comments, and we'll definitely address them next week. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for just sticking with us, man, sticking with us and subscribing to our channel, showing some love, man. I really, really appreciate it. Man, we're growing Massive Action. Let me know if you are interested in any of the Massive Action gear. I want to hook you out with some shirts. We have some nice workbooks coming out that they're similar to this. It's exactly what I did. Was I actually created a workbook out of these, and you can go in here and put some notes, and you can kind of like share your progress. One of the cool things that we offer with this binder is it's a lot of good stuff in here, man. But it starts off with making a commitment, man. You got to make a commitment to yourself. You got to make a commitment to yourself that you're gonna take it to the next level, man. And once you make that commitment, see that's another thing too, right? Like, because I was thinking about that last night. Like as business owners, like, we never really truly commit. Like, we don't really commit to that. Like, we don't actually sit down and say, man, I'm gonna make a commitment to myself to move to this level, right? And that's, think about, like, athletes, right? So I was thinking about this last night. I was like, man, you know what? Like, athletes, like, the only reason why athletes are so successful, my opinion, is because they're under contract. Think about that. Like, they signed a contract to perform. And if they don't perform, then they don't get paid. And so because they're under contract, they have pressure to show up and perform. So why not make yourself a contract to yourself and commit to yourself of what you're going to do for the next year, and put yourself under a contract, make an agreement with yourself that you're going to perform, you're going to show up, and you're going to deliver for your family, for your health, for your future, for your legacy, man. Hey, guys, so next time, Massive Action, man. Y'all have a good week, good rest of the week. Like I said, reach out to me if I can help out with anything. Stan Medina, the Stan Medina on Instagram. Like I said, I want to see y'all August 30th in San Antonio, man. See if y'all can make it. Message me. It's a free event. Till next time, man.